Nobody wants to think about calorie counting at Christmas. We're going to, however, because the government has confirmed it's working on plans to introduce a calorie cap on meals sold in supermarkets and restaurants. Public Health England says it's part of plans to combat the country's obesity crisis. Our reporter, Phil Edwards, has the details. Yeah.
Controversial?
Controversial doesn't begin to start, but take us through this, because it's the first I heard of this, I have to admit, my jaw dropped, and not just because I was hungry.
Look, depending on your point of view, it's either a fantastic initiative to try to tackle an epidemic of obesity throughout the land and all the health problems that causes, or on the other hand, it's another case of the nanny state wagging its finger at us, telling us what we can and cannot put in our mouths. There's no getting away from it, though, Neil. 2/3 of us are either overweight or obese, and we know what that can lead to. Type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, that sort of thing. So Public Health England have come out with these draft proposals. They're over 100 pages long, incidentally, and in it they want to try and set targets for common types of meals, sandwiches, pizzas, ready meals, that sort of thing. The target is to try to get the calorie count in common foods down by 5% over the next 3 years, which is a pretty ambitious target. And anyway, they've come up with these proposals, as I say, and their chief nutritionist has said the following: children and adults routinely eat too many calories, and severe obesity in 10 to 11-year-olds has reached an all-time high. These are early days in the calorie reduction programme, but the food industry has a responsibility to act. We are consulting on ambitious guidelines to help tackle everyday excess calories. We welcome the industry's feedback to help shape the final guidelines due for publication next year. But opposition to these proposals have come from groups who say, look, this is unwanted and unnecessary state intervention.
They've tried to bring in things like the sugar tax in the past. These will do very minimal things to reduce obesity levels. They're just a revenue raiser for government. There's the nanny statism aspect. They're trying to tell people how to live their lives, and that simply isn't fair or right, especially in a free society. And furthermore, it's the effect on businesses. They're already heavily regulated and burdened with all this red tape and whatnot, and then this is just going to further add to their woes and probably push prices up and reduce choice for consumers.
It's been reported, incidentally, that Downing Street are a little bit wary of these proposals, fearing a public backlash if too many of our favourite meals are altered too drastically. Public Health England want this to be a voluntary process on the part of food manufacturers, but they've hinted that if enough progress is not being made towards this target of a 20% reduction over the next 5 years, then other measures could be brought in.
Phil, many thanks.